so welcome to a new session of Shadowrun. We are up to session number 64, or season 2, episode 26. In comparison, I believe our last one had about 38 sessions. We may actually exceed that on this storyline. We shall see how we go. They are currently on the outskirts of the King nation of Germany, one of the outlying provinces known as Munchausen. I'm terrible at pronouncing things, so it's probably completely butchered in my way of speaking.
It's Munchausen, is it? Because we don't want to have the Munchausen disease.
It is Munchausen. Munchausen. Munchausen.
Yeah, so I was going to say Munchmu. MAU. That's where I'm getting N.
No N, double S.
Just double S. Okay. And then EN?
Yes.
Jesus.
So Munchausen.
Yeah. Mao. Yeah.
Pretty much.
See, this is where I end up needing a
Sorry, I couldn't help it a little bit.
Well, that is pretty much what it feels like, and that's why I said I pretty much bugger up the pronunciation of all these things as I say them. As we're all used to me doing. Just be glad we're not doing Crimson Throne at the moment, because every name sounds the same when I say it, because my brain can't differentiate the slight different letters to pronounce different vowels.
Mawson? As close as I can get?
Yeah. Probably less buggered up than mine, but who knows?
Look, I'm not fantastic at pronunciation either.
And that's most likely said with a angry sort of tone, because it is German after all.
Until we get some German speakers here who can correct us on that, that's what we're going with, right?
Well, hey, if I never say it the same twice, no one would really notice, will they?
No, we'll all notice. We'll just find it funny. Which is the whole point. If you can't pronounce something right, make it amusing.
Okay, so we will do introductions now with Ross being first up on the group of introductions.
Yes, I play the lovable troll Wop, who normally gets stated that he does all the troll stuff due to the fact that a certain troll is indistinguishable. So I always get his blame for his. Even though I am actually a lot shorter than him, I actually am short for a troll. Only what was it about?
Maybe that's why your profile on the local grinder version got lots of hits.
Your hot boy profile gets.
The other fact is I am attractive as a troll, and I do have charm. Yes, the follower of Eki Thump from the goodies from the BBC Pantheon, currently on a tourist vacation in this lovable Germany. On the flip side, I haven't been stabbed in the back yet, which is a good thing.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's about to happen. With that in mind, let's see how we fetch free.
Hey, Black.
Okay, so next up is Ariadna.
I was going to say,
couldn't you wait
all
until
in a different order? Normally start with online people.
Yeah. Couldn't you wait until I get to tier 5 before we start rolling dice?
Yeah, no, I hate this thing that he does, and to be honest...
Oh, no, on tier 5 I'll be quite happy. Yeah, because as soon as he starts spending that, I get my strain back.
Yes,
I'm gonna request that I use the dice from the Star Wars app and roll it myself.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to go. I absolutely support that. I've been considering protesting by leaving the room, but he'll just roll the dice whether or not I'm here or not.
You know me well.
Yeah, that didn't. Futility does not make me a happy person. I am Shadow. I am apparently an awakened elf. There is a truth to ignorance being the more blissful state of affairs. I was once a Robin Hood in a corporate forest, but the cost of that was that the corporations caught me with my hand in the till. They did not like that I was giving their money to the poor, and I ended up with not just one but several hundred targets on my head. And so now I'm a Shadowrunner, spending most of my time with my hood up and trying not to attract the attention of dragons, and yet somehow ending up working with or against them.
Well, there is the old adage, never deal with a dragon and never trust an elf.
Yes, well, I guess that's why nobody trusts me. I don't know. Everyone seems to trust me for some reason. Charming personality?
Well, you get to roll the dice.
Darren, I'm going to put the dice tray on him. He doesn't mind. The cat does not mind a dice tray. Is it going to give me any luck? No, it gives me one black.
You're now banned.
And it just shows how honest I am. I could have said that was anything.
Okay, so online today we have Jeremy.
Where did my pencil go? I just put it down.
Yes, good evening all. I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, the elf who likewise grew up on the streets of Seattle, but didn't go to corporate, well, at least not technically. I grew up wanting to reach the epitome of elven society, that is the ancient Go-Ganger motorcycle gang. And whilst he's definitely well on the way, or effectively achieved that goal, although he's still very much bottom ranks, and he's realised that, hang on, the bottom ranks of the ancients, he's not necessarily where he wants to be. Having discovered that as a Shadowrunner, he can actually earn a significant amount of money, and which he's obviously very wisely invested and worked very hard to actually become moderately wealthy now, had nothing at all to do with the fact that he also become with an inheritance of a family he didn't previously know, that included a group of technological, magical suit and fight, including AI systems, apparently, that he's not controlling his money in any way, shape or form, all the rest of his life.
And so obviously
Tatiana is purely there to help and assist him, and he's obviously contributed to all of his desires. Not.
And fate has blessed Desmond with a good point.
Right.
And that.
What's it like to have the dice not try to kill you all the time?
He's just got a lot of fucking security behind it.
That means he's waiting for the hammer to drop.
Yeah.
He's waiting for my AI program dice to roll 2 black.
Yeah. That is the way of it, right?
Because I have demanded to use it, and now it's gonna stop me over.
That happens to me all the time, so don't worry.
Okay, so we shall switch over to M then and see how well the fates give the I shall roll at home.
I am bold. I'm not the sharpest bolt in the shed, but I am learning to do the magic and have been somewhat successful in the last few weeks in doing so. And with the help of Flogger, managed to quell people who were trying to shoot a big boomy at us. And then I got to run alongside a train, so that was fun. And yes, and now we're in the great outdoors doing lots of hikes and out in nature again, which Paul really likes. And I got 2 whites.
Nice.
Yes.
Alright.
Maybe I should get you to use your AI dice roller to roll for me next time.
Okay, and that brings us to Josh. And we'll first ask Josh, do you want to use the AI roller or do you want the GM to roll badly for you?
Let's cause
Oh,
some
yeah, well,
chaos. You can roll for me. Let's cause some chaos today.
I think it's
Apparently
just
it was a white.
random as
Yeah.
every
And so Josh, would you like to introduce Flogger to us all?
Yes. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the Flogger. Flogger being very troll. Flogger not smart, but Flogger hit hard. Flogger has a collection of doors that he has mistakenly misplaced. Still trying to find. Yes.
Well, you do know where they are, just that you don't know how to get them.
Yes. It's very sad.
Though you do know you can ask someone and they'll most likely bring the doors in at some point.
Is that someone the spirit?
Well, at least you think it's the spirit. Who knows? It's just this voice you hear in your head every now and then.
Every now and again, yes.
This is your subconscious speaking. Do the thing.
Ah, that's where you're wrong. I'm so stupid I don't have a conscience. Therefore I know it's a demon.
You said you had a subconscious, that's why I bought the left.
And if you look at the Discord notes or the messenger link, you will see that there is a list of gear you were given.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's important.
As that was what was in the 4 crates and what was on top. I would love a coffee, please. So, did anyone want to do a recap of last session, or would you like the quick and dirty version?
We fucked up the tank.
I mean, we already mentioned the important part.
I was going to say, we can hear your quick and dirty version and add
I peeled that tank like a can opener to a can. Hell yeah.
So the
Just that I didn't get to keep
That
that.
was after you enjoyed bashing people up and playing.
That too.
you really got to really give people a beating.
Mmm.
Yeah, our day started out swimmingly.
Mmm.
Nice.
Bears.
And Bolt figured out he can swim through people.
Yes, yes, I can. Weightlessness has its bonuses apparently.
Okay, so you are in Germany and you have guns, toys, and a job to do.
And the job we're doing is recover a book and deliver a case,
Yep.
and we've arrived at the village and we've been showing our accommodation that has been arranged by Miss Johnson, and we've unpacked the gear that we have after having looked at everything. After checking look around the room and make sure there's nothing obvious, just a camera or anything like that, but we're going to be watching it for a little bit. What we know about this village at the moment, I can't remember if we had the description yet or not.
So this village has a street of shops. Literally, one street of shops.
Mm-hmm.
But there were shops like cheese shop, craft beer shop.
And where's the book being kept?
And couldn't we literally walk faster than the car we were given?
You
Yes.
could.
That's why Desmond's driving it.
Because when Shadow put her foot to the floor, it sort of really didn't go anywhere. And you didn't have gears. It was a one gear suits all occasions. The book is in the castle up on top of the hill. May as well be the castle in the clouds as far as you're concerned. It's so high up in comparison to where you are in the city. It has a mountain road that is listed as 7 kilometers winding up the hill, the mountain road. There is a sky lift that will literally go for 1 kilometer from the village to the castle. Or there is a cliff face which is less than about half a k straight up the side of the mountain. So there are many ways to do it, and you have the choices of how you're going to make it all happen.
And we have been supplied climbing gear and a grapple gun.
Yes.
You have. And to make things fun, the castle is currently sitting in the snow zone.
Okay.
Can we just rename that to the snooze zone?
But we have all got snow suits as well, so
You do.
we have got the appropriate gear to wander in the snow. If, well, I don't know if anybody else, but I'm pretty certain Declan hasn't spent much time gambling through the snow fields.
Well, you've been in Seattle. Seattle gets snowfall, just that it's more brown than white. Here it's that pristine white-looking snow that just looks like it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And noting that the nobility of the castle as a troll really does fit into that fairy tale castle in the clouds.
Gosh.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring in Beauty and the Beast.
That's one of those fairy tales.
So, yeah, because he's the beauty and the beast, maybe.
No,
The
let's just hope there's no talking
Now-
furniture.
Does our travel accommodation have a return date at the moment? Like, do we have a deadline on this one?
I don't believe you got return information for anything, and let me just check to see if I've actually gotten any information about that.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the fact that we're supposed to be there as tourists, potentially spending a few days wandering around the town getting tourists would not be unreasonable, but I'm not going to do an actual deadline.
So, the only things you had given to you was here's the castle, we'll get you to the castle, we will give you the gear to help you get into the castle whichever way you choose, and after they get you to this location with the gear, the rest is up to you, including getting home.
Oh,
I was going to say, our guys
Getting
also...
you know, that's the sort of thing that could have been negotiated.
It is.
I didn't get a chance to negotiate on this one. There was no negotiations written in the instructions.
And you've got to get back to the Johnson in Seattle.
Right.
Oh, great.
So the Johnson's not overseas, the Johnson's in Seattle. So you're expected to get back to Seattle with the book.
Yeah, with the stolen property. The overdue library book, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have time to organise return air.
If it was in Ireland or UK, I could get us back because I've got contacts there, but not in Germany.
I think we can...
Well, let's just start by having a bit of wander around town, doing the touristy type thing, and getting a bit of a look at exactly what we're up against to actually
But Desiree, you've got to
either
remember...
go up the road or climb the cliff or use the cable car, work out how the cable car works, all that sort of stuff.
I want to hear your American accent.
The suspicious tour guide. I'm gonna go track her down and I'm gonna be like, you mentioned like nature walks, and I'm gonna make her like take me on all the like nature walks.
Okay, so you step out of the accommodation and find her sitting at a cafe across the street from your accommodation. Happy to greet you as you step out the door.
I'm gonna.
Not suspicious at all.
I'm gonna
Not
accompany
suspicious
Paul
at
on
all.
the nature.
Purely coincidental.
Yeah.
Are we going down to try the sausages?
How many places could you be? Only one per town? How many coffee shops across the street could there be? So,
You can, but I think having a look at least, I want to try to hopefully direct Bolt and the Nature Walker towards anything nearby and around that takes us within sight of the castle and our target to do so.
Well, you just look up and you can see the castle, from my understanding.
No.
Yeah,
No.
closer
What
by.
my plan was to get her out of your hair,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you guys can do
Oh,
smart.
Yeah.
I thought
that's
you
actually
just.
what this is like.
No, I thought
I
you wanted
see.
to have a run around and then probably take a leak on the castle wall and then run back.
Well, if that's the case, then I won't accompany Bolt. I'll let Bolt.
No, she knows the nature walk, so clearly she knows all the best spots. And
Oh,
really,
you're
that-
talking about the hiking trails and that.
Yes.
So did Bolt then take the opportunity to put on some of the snowsuit and stuff like that was supplied, saying, oh yes, we're going to go for a walk. And, oh okay, look, you can take it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we got then clothing, so.
So Goldie is quite happy to take you on nature walks.
What time have we arrived and effectively got
You
initially settled?
you had arrived the coming close to sunset the previous day and had rested up. So it is now morning on the 19th.
Okay, so we had the night's rest in the hotel and gone through.
And the shops all in old-fashioned carved signs showing pipes, clocks, sausages, jewelry, clockwork toys, Bavarian costumes, and craft beers.
Well, certainly that first night, Desmond will be quite happy to go and enjoy a restaurant meal in the hotel, whatever type of stuff, but basically do the touristy thing of eating out. And then in the morning, his intent will be to go for a wander around town with a camera and obviously taking photographs of all the lovely cheap souvenir type exhibitions. But part of it will be getting to the castle and onto the cliff face and the road leading up to it, and taking a look at the cable car systems.
Okay, and so that's what Desmond's doing.
Oh,
what
well,
he's-
I'm going to accompany Desmond because I would like to get my photos taken as well. Because he's taking photos, I can't use the cameras.
I'm going to see if Flogger wants to go hiking with me.
Flogger's always down for a good walk.
And we're leaving Tarlin to allow the hangover to settle in after the night of the year.
AKA mind the gear. I'll be taking a little bit of equipment just in case we need it, but we're just doing reconnaissance right now.
Okay, so Goldie's happy to take Bolt, Shadow, and Flogger on the hikes
Yep, okay.
because she is the one who knows all the trails.
Okay, yep. I was hoping to do something subtle on my own, but I'll go with this person. If that's what's
I think
needed.
the first day it might make sense to use to at least
Yeah, first day
have a
out.
couple groups.
Now I can't actually do an obnoxious American accent, which was what we were told that we were. So let's just say for the rest of the game that while I'm talking, imagine an obnoxious American accent, whatever that's supposed to sound like.
It's
I
supposed
say
to be.
you're right, this is not the wild, wild west.
So
There you go.
think of someone complaining about absolutely everything and everyone, and about how it's so much better at home.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be that. I can't be that person even. I'll just be an American accent.
Um,
No, you're
are you
the
happy?
type of obnoxious American that absolutely gushes about how everything is so much better here.
Yes.
Martin,
Yep.
are you happy that whilst Arlen is not actually playing this evening, and he's therefore resting up in the hotel or something, that we're actually having effectively someone staying at the hotel room to ensure that if some people snooping around the rooms?
Yep, I'm happy to have Tarlin keep your
Or
gear safe.
or if, like, we don't need to have one of the current PCs around the hotel room.
Okay, so you've got Tarlin saying she's got this as she starts to drink some of the local craft beer.
Well,
Yeah.
care of the dog.
Okay. Even if she passes out, it's at least know there's something in the room, so someone's less likely to actually.
So Goldie keeps a good stream of local tourism information going to give you a good idea of what's happening in the town and what you can do and what you can get up to, while occasionally throwing in questions about where you came from, what you're here to see.
That's okay, I'll get it. I just don't think that's a good idea.
Okay. Harlan successfully deflected those questions the previous day, didn't she?
She
Yeah.
did. That's why she was quite happy to have less skillful people to harangue.
Yeah.
Because what best way to find out what's going on but ask those who do the heavy lifting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Shadow probably took place in the talking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good at that part.
Which is why you're quite lucky you didn't leave it to just Bolt and the tour guide.
Yeah.
Okay, so while they're doing their long-winded tour, looking at every possible viewpoint on the lower mountainside, as she doesn't take you up in the cable car all the way up to the castle today, because that's not really a walking trail, that is a cable car.
Are there any tours of the castle?
Oh, there are, but you got to go by cable car to do it.
Okay, so that's something to do the next day or later today, depending on what we're not doing today.
And so while you're being busy distracting the tour guide, Desrin and Wob get in a lot of sightseeing. They see that St. Gretchen's is the name of the local church. It has a lot of self-help seminars going in there.
That'll be the way you're doing money this side of town.
Where they will teach you anything from self-defense to how to read and write.
Oh, okay. Starting to
And
think that.
possibly something about what religion the church is for, Christians.
Yeah, I was starting to had images of the Brotherhood coming into mind when he was saying self-help.
There is not even a single religious pamphlet outside the church.
Okay.
Okay.
Religion doesn't sell, self-help does.
And
But possibly the baronies are very secular in his beliefs.
And while you're having a look through the pamphlets on the outside, you are greeted by a tall for a human with a centre of his head shaved, introduces himself as Father Braun.
Father
So-
Braun or
So
Braun?
he's got a reverse.
He's
So he's got a reverse mohawk.
He's got the centre of his
He's got a posture.
shaved.
got a posture.
Okay.
It's a specific style of haircut for some monks.
So basically, he looks like Sandy from Monkey.
I don't know monkey that well.
I'm
He's got-
picturing
He's got a bald spot in the middle of
somewhat
it.
fatter and shorter hair.
If you've seen Cadfael, it's closer to that.
Yeah. If you think about the standard Dominican monk type effect over what I'm picturing. So,
Which is what you would expect from a European-based old school religion.
yeah.
And
And also, considering the fact this whole town appears to be set up as the fairy tale tourist trap, the priest has got to look the part. Even apparently he's not religious. But yeah, so
he asks if you need any assistance. He's here to help anyone in need.
so we will talk to him and obviously give him our standing spiel for the couple we're working on at the moment. Express our satisfaction or wonder at the beauty of this wondrous little village, and
He seems
inquire
less
about
interested.
history, all those sorts of bits and pieces.
He seems less interested in who you are and where you came from, more interested in how he can help you.
Okay.
He basically says his calling is to help those in need in whatever they need. And
That's noble.
is also willing to tell you all he knows of the area over a breakfast. As
Well, certainly can't pass up the opportunity to get some local knowledge
Yep.
on this interesting little town.
he invites you into his Gothic structure. And you can see it actually does have the whole pews for a church and all that sort of stuff. And off to the side, he's got a simple kitchen where he cooks up some bratwurst. Very traditional style. And sits down and has a good conversation with you about the town and its people.
So we'll ask about the history of the town and the castle, how long it's been there for, basically. Are we actually to do sort of have the capitalists and things like that? Do we want it up and have a look at the castle and walk around town? And,
Well, he does say about that the director of tourism, Goldie Schonsbosum, is in the employee of the Baron as one of his advisors, and spends most of her time getting into everyone's business.
yeah, well, we were fortunate enough to be greeted by her yesterday, and yeah, she certainly seems to be interested in getting to know all the visitors in town.
He also refers to her as the local spy master.
Spymaster.
Yeah, well, without having said it, you were certainly having to go along with that sort of interpretation based on the interactions that he introduced to us, or the color of the for that. So.
And he goes into detail about how the sorry, once I get to the right page, how the mountain road is very problematic. It's a 2-day walk up the road to reach the castle. with surveillance patrols every 1 to 6 hours.
Someone writing this down.
So it's a 2-day walk, and you got surveillance every 6 hours.
1 to 6
1
hours.
to 6 hours.
You roll a d6, and that's how long until the next one comes over, and the GM doesn't tell you when that's about to happen.
But presumably, if you're wandering through snow drifts and things like that, then potentially you can, at least if you spot them coming, you can hide.
But you may leave a visual trail behind you.
Yeah.
The scale, go ahead.
Go.
It says that the scale lifts are a two-car lift that the cars are at opposite ends of the cable, and when one's moving, the other one's moving. So it will cross over in the middle.
Yeah.
And they are running a couple of times a day.
And how do you normally use the cable cars?
First thing in the morning before sunrise is all the servants at the castle. After that is normally tourists and stuff the castle needs.
Okay, so that they do actually invite tourists up there, but obviously, if the cable car's effectively the only entrance, then you're very well aware of anyone who goes in there.
He does say that he has heard from Goldie that you guys have climbing gear. If you happen to try climbing the cliff next to the castle, he does.
It offers like a beautiful challenge. Part of the reason why here, obviously.
And it is quite a challenging climb. She doesn't expect most people can make that sort of climb.
Mm-hmm. How high up is it actually?
Challenging. That's 4 purple or a couple of reds.
He says that there are 4 different cliff faces that need to be scaled, and each one takes roughly about an hour from a skilled climber.
Mm-hmm. And we know how high they actually are, like that, and what each cliff face is. I'm just thinking about the idea of we've got the grapple gun with 200 metres of line. Is that likely to be enough to actually get up the cliff?
Each cliff
Obviously,
face
not asking specifically, just asking, how high is each face?
Each cliff face is about 100 to 160 meters in height.
Okay.
And that's why they take so long to traverse.
Yeah, that's right, but it does mean that it's within capability of the grapple gun. So.
I hope Desmond mentions the fact that he has 2 really outdoorsy people who are currently on hikes today, which is why he's
as I said, Desmond was definitely talking about the fact that, exactly. I mean, it's one of the reasons people come up here, isn't it? For the lovely mountaineering possibilities.
And that he has a missile tracking system on the castle itself that will shoot down any unauthorized by the Baron vehicles, drones, or large creatures. That is creatures bigger than a swan or a goose. He's learned the hard way not to shoot geese down. He describes how vicious the geese are when you try to thin their numbers.
So, other than geese, is there anything else that we have to watch out?
Ross, go first.
Yeah. Other than geese, is there any other creatures we have to watch out of?
It says that the geese aren't a problem anymore since the Baron has set up his systems not to attack them. And what was Jeremy saying?
I was just talking about that. Yeah, so he mentioned he referred to the spy master, maintenance patrols every hour or so, missile systems detecting the air. The Baron doesn't necessarily like visitors.
He loves tourists where he takes the money from them because they keep his money coming in, but he doesn't like unexpected drop-ins, as one of the local neighbouring baronies keeps trying to send spy drones into his airspace about at least once a week. And he has quite the extensive matrix network, none of it wireless, all of it wired. And
Connected to anything down here, or is that independent system up in the castle?
there are multiple areas, everything's connected in. He says that you might find some in the town hall, but no guarantee you can bypass his security there because the security is highest outside the castle. Whereas the castle has quite a few vulnerabilities.
Anyway, obviously there's no reason why we'd be trying to bypass security, so that's obviously not a concern.
Well, he does recommend using, if you were to need to investigate his systems for no particular reason, that using access points within the Baron's personal quarters is likely to bypass any such traps.
Well,
No, not that
the
you're trying to
that
do
is
so.
right, obviously we would need to use, but we'll certainly keep it in mind.
And he does say that there is a quite a good security on there, but at the moment they're on low alert. Once he gets any wind that something is suspicious, his troops start watching all the camera networks and turn on their surveillance systems, which they have installed in nearly every room of every hotel. But it's disabled until they have a need to look.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only a few places he doesn't have bugs running, that being the church, because every time he turns the bugs on, our bells start ringing. Pure coincidence, he says.
So, the other baronies, what are they like?
Probably as paranoid because he sends his drones into them as well. As they all compete for resources and for the tourist traps.
Does the what about the Baron himself? What's he like?
He puts him down as paranoid troll with delusions of grandeur about being a descendant of the ancient trolls of the Dark Forest.
A special man indeed.
Sort of makes, I can understand that.
He has no proof either way, and technically, if he is descendant from trolls of the Dark Forest, he probably wouldn't be descendant of his Baron line at the same time.
Just
Maybe
make certain that Eglin's getting the same impression that I am at the moment, or that I'm not visiting everything, or Declan visiting everything. It doesn't seem like this Father Braun is particularly pro the Baron, and when he says he's out to help anyone in any way they can, particularly his comment about how to break into the security system and things like the matrix systems. Does it sound like he's genuinely trying to undermine and would support those who are against the Baron? in the situation.
I believe Jeremy has tweaked onto what he's doing. I'm not sure if Desmond has.
I was
Well,
gonna say,
okay, from a social, I'm assuming like some sort of social skill or something like that to basically interpret his character in the process. Now, whether he's good interpreter is a question again, but
just
okay,
saying,
so I'm just thinking at the moment of after the discussion about turning the cameras on all the hospital, all the hotels and everything like that, that possibly he'd be open to us moving some of our gear into the church to make it less noticeable.
Okay, so Ariadne was going to speak up at that point.
in his roundabout way, Jeremy wants to make an insight check.
Effectively, we'll take a time to get what the skill points to actually interpreting and whether or not I'm misinterpreting and David might actually give the proper knowledge and that.
Okay, it is a streetwise check for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Might be, yeah. It comes in those areas.
Well, that would be a one yellow, one green, and I'm taking my contact is not going to make a huge factor, but it's the idea of paying for a place to keep it stored.
And we also have a Talon joining us, so Al, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yo, hey, it's Elle here, aka Talon. I'm an elf. Had a few beverages, inappropriately drunk. So drunk enough to be appropriate for my character. An elf, a little bit of a sociopath. Wishes she could do better. Honestly, usually fails to do so. A business owner, terrible with money, and just along for the ride to help out her Shadowrunning buddies.
And guess what? While you're away, your character has been drinking steadily while watching their gear.
Yeah.
That is perfect. How appropriate.
Well, I thought I'd give you an easy jump-in point. So, Jeremy, yes, you can make a streetwise roll to see if this guy is trying to give you information.
Okay, yeah, well, let's go. One yellow, one green. And to be fair, he might not have the positive or negative. I'm probably still playing the same way.
So,
I'm surprised he doesn't have street smarts.
you have well, it's not his specialization.
And I'm not much cutting is the problem.
And so you get two advantages on it, meaning you feel really good about things, but you have no idea.
Could I make a roll as well?
What is yours?
I'm happy
Two
to.
green, one blue.
So Wompy's going to make a try. Did you want to upgrade?
Yes, I'll upgrade, please.
Apparently, Womp picks up the social signals that Desrin did not. You get the feeling Womp gets the feeling this guy is very definitely anti the Barret and has been feeding you all the information he can to help you in whatever nefarious schemes you're doing to undermine the Baron. And he's been going out of his way to not know what schemes you're trying to do, so he can't be implicated in any way and stop you accidentally blurting it out where it may or may not be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So he has cut off most of you saying about what you're here to do, just in case you said the wrong things.
So how long has the Baron been actually the Baron of this area?
By birth.
Yeah, but he couldn't have been. He couldn't. No, I mean, how long has he actually been in control?
Well, has he been in control? Probably since he was about 10 or 11.
So he didn't have a.
If he can't control, they probably died fairly young as well, so.
He was a full adult when he took over at 10 or 11.
Okay.
You do know trolls age quickly, don't you?
Yes. Some do, some don't.
Natural born trolls have.
Oh, he's a natural. So he's a natural
lifespan,
born,
yes.
not recently goblinized.
He is a naturally born troll.
Okay, so that's the reason why he thinks he's from the Black Forest. Well, in theory, he's nearby the Black Forest. Hey, by the way, how far is away the Black Forest?
GM does not know, so GM can't give you an answer. He gives you a rough timeline of how long it would take you to get to the Black Forest and how many people you would need to pay off to allow you to get into it. And also recommends writing up your will and distribution of worldly goods before you go.
That bad. How many? Oh yeah, with all the different barons and that.
Well, no.
Well, I think also the fact that the Black Forest is one of those places that has been somewhat affected by the Awakening.
Anything that has a shifty reputation in folklore is generally nasty to go through in these day and time. Because those folk tales were actually based on places where magic was still active in low magic periods. The last thing I really want to do.
I don't suppose Father Bourne has any fluid maps of the town or specifically the castle.
Well, he pulls out a touristy looking map for you to have a look at. Let's see if I can actually open something useful to you. If I can actually figure out where it is. Okay, so I should be able to find it.
Why is it so quiet?
Because I'm looking up a map.
Yeah, we're looking at tourist
Yeah.
maps.
Okay, alright.
Well,
I was just really worried.
there's a quarter to this map, but hey, there might we'll see what we get. So.
So that gives you a look of what the main street sort of looks like.
Can you put it on a bigger camera spot,
There you go.
please? Oh, okay, yep.
And when I go,
A lovely tourist map.
with notifications that it will have sensor sweeps, drones looking, security patrols, and most of the patrols range between 1 to 6 hours on depending on what level of alert they have going. It's normally every 6 hours if they're on low alert, but since you came, they've upped their vigilance.
Really?
Yeah.
What? You mean we didn't come in tough enough?
The crates coming in and the fact that the Goldie has chosen to take some of your members on a tour interrogation of the city.
Sounds not so good for us.
Means that they are currently assessing you for a threat, so they're at vigilant mode. If you manage to lessen her suspicions, they will return to a more lax look at stuff, which means most patrols reduced to every 6 hours.
So we really need to play up the tourist side.
But if you get her suspicions answered, then she may upgrade it to full alert, at which point they will be watching and listening on your every movement.
You know, now that Talon's here, I'm thinking after we finish all this nature outdoorsy hikey hike, it's time for a girls' night out, drunky drunk.
Since we had a lot of hassle getting in here, if we need to leave in a hurry, which would be the best way to go?
Well, he suggests you give his unlisted number a call, and he might be able to arrange some, let's just say, subtle travel plans. Because he's here to help. As he hands Desrin a what looks to be a blank card until he reflects it in the light and sees a couple of digits there on it. Basically, it's not a digital number that you can pick up via any form of surveillance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you have any more questions at the moment, Ross? I'm thinking that we've probably got most of the information I think of right now, and that we should be thanking him and continuing on our wander through the town.
Give him a donation so we can help the cause. So we help his cause.
Okay, so you guys continue on your look. Most of the stuff he said has checked out around the town. You want to get Al up to speed in what you're up to, and I'll just quickly duck to the bathroom.
So Al, so basically, the end of the last section, after we unpacked the goodies at the hotel and found the list of bits and pieces that Martin put all the equipment up on the chat group and Facebook, I believe. Basically, yeah, we're heading out in the morning. A few of them tried to distract Goldie while Womp and Jason did other reconnoiter. So far we found that yes, there appears to be 3 main ways up to the castle. A 2-day walk up a winding Snowfield Road. Climb up a few sheer cliff faces, or a cable car with gold, like with like 2 cars that come back and forth. And apparently the local priest, who apparently had the local church, but seems to have no religious connotation or association to it at all, although I expect it's probably at least a governmental cross in the old church, but it's very helpful in providing access and egress for the day as well.
Well, you willingly had breakfast with him. If you hadn't, you wouldn't have got the information.
Yeah, breakfast sounds like it was a good idea.
Well, plus the other thing is we wanted something different than rat on a stick.
Yeah, so continuing our tourist view of the city, of the town, particularly Jack will be trying to get some imagery of the cliff face, so the technical climbing, and obviously he'll also be taking images of other cliff faces around, mountain sides around, which is where he wasn't going to checking out the mountain image ability. So certainly not concentrating on the castle, but unless of course it's the only effective mountain in the area. But Goldie already knows that we had climbing equipment, that was sitting on top of the boxes. Then I think that yes, appearing to look at the climbing options, he's certainly not necessarily bad or okay.
So area 5 on the map is where the tram goes to, the cable car.
Okay, yeah.
Area 6 is the gatehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Area 7 is the garden. 9 at the hours. 10 is the main courtyard. 11 is administration building, and 12 is a 4-story keep.
There are 2 11s.
And both 11s are administration.
Ooh. Okay. But where is... Oh, 10. Okay, cool. I can see it.
So the place you need to get into is that one.
Noted.
And I'm guessing, was it 9 and 5 are basically guard towers and rock towers type stuff?
They are basically guard towers, yes.
Yeah.
And they
what-
range from 5
what's the
stories
one?
to 8 stories.
Right.
What was the
And
other?
what's the one?
One is the cliff face. That would be where.
Oh, okay, right.
2
That's
is
what
the road.
I could pick up the good face.
2
Right.
is the road. That is the 2-day hike. 3 is rough ground. So to the north and south of the map is rough ground for terrain, so you'll struggle moving through that easily.
But also thinks it has some cover.
And the wall between the towers is 20 meters tall.
Okay.
Good thing we have a bolt and a flogger who could probably just use their claws to climb, right?
Whereas the front wall is only 7 meters tall. So each of them are problematic in their own way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if we're coming up the back wall, I think we probably come up the cliff face. 20 metres is probably not a major obstacle at that point.
It is not. And then you find yourself in a garden once you jump it. A garden with
How
a
big?
big wall on the other side of the wall.
I was going to say, how big's the wall on the other side of the garden?
That wall is the 20-meter wall, whereas I believe the one around the garden will be 7 meters.
Okay, yeah.
So you got a big thick wall and a thin wall. The thin wall is the 7 meter, the thick wall is the 20 meter.
Okay, that makes sense. And how tall was the keep itself again? Like the number 12?
4-story. Just gonna send I'm gonna send a picture of it to people in chat.
Okay. So that would put it about the same height as the 20-meter wall then, would it?
I'd say a little bit shorter. You think
okay.
each of the stories will be spacious?
It's something the fact that, like, normally an average story might be about 3 metres with a general guideline, although say for a troll it might be a bit more. But,
It looks like the medieval design where you could probably fit a giraffe in every floor.
okay. So the keep is definitely a bit taller than the top of the wall then.
It is.
Do we have any idea of the scale on that? Like, if we're standing on the 20-meter wall at the back of the keep, what's that distance to get across to the keep?
Like all good Shadowrun books, it is all theatre of the mind's eye.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I'm looking at these things thinking, well, it's probably still grappleable. If we're standing on top of the wall, potentially we could get on top of the keep with another shot of the grapple gun type effect.
Yep.
And someone like Alton Flogger may be able to jump it. Or in fact, it's definitely jump the hardcore.
Okay, so I've now found a scale for the map. That area number 12 looks like it is about 20 meters in length along each of the walls.
20 metres on each wing. Okay, so about 20 metres square. Yep, okay.
Did you the main courtyard, or is that something else?
The main courtyard is basically 10. Everything inside this big wall is considered the main courtyard.
Oh, right, okay. So what was 12 again?
12 is the keep where you expect the book to be stored.
Like the actual castle type effect.
Yep. Like the actual building.
Yep.
Yeah. The place we want to get to. Or we believe we want to get to anyway. Because obviously people still don't do like books in labs. Okay, well, that certainly covers most of my books. Certainly Degford at the moment is leaning towards taking advantage of climbing gear and grappling hooks and things like that, and the fact that well, certainly Flogger and Degford, Flogger and Bolt could be pretty good climbers. Degford, well, so he can do good parkour with his coordination. I don't know how good he is for athletics, is certainly less valuable for climbing.
What about warmth?
But
Do you have
you
natural?
can probably get the strong guy can get up there and then pull up the others if needed.
Make it pause for a minute, Jeremy. And what was that, Ariadne?
I was asking if Womp had any, as a troll, natural abilities to climb with claws and things.
I'm a basic climber. Something like this may be out of my knowledge of climbing, since I'm only more of class as a beginner or hobbyist.
And you don't believe the cable cars are rated for the weight of the troll,
Which is going to be interesting.
which means that the Baron himself doesn't use it.
Baron's probably... Well, that's probably another reason why he doesn't leave the place.
Well, I've got to go, yeah, because that big with the code was the fact that you just get to leave much, don't you?
So for us to... Well, either that or was it a 2-day hike?
It's a 2-day hike with patrols every 1 to 6 hours, depending on the roll of a 6-sided die. So every patrol, Martin will roll a die, and if it's 1 hour, then we'll have
That
to
part.
hide.
We just have to speak to Goldie and say, how are trolls going to visit the...
So potentially 48 rolls of die, but probably not, hopefully not.
Well, possibly called Walker. No, take your time.
Or they fly at their own speed.
Okay, right. Okay, from my perspective, I'm figuring that's Womp and Degford for the time being. You should have a Flogger, Bulk and Shadow go with Goldie on their walking trails.
Well, you can probably take some
Do
photos.
they find anything? And how much does Goldie find out?
No, I'm just saying, you can probably take some photos of the cliff face and we could probably assess how hard it's going to be.
Yeah, well, that's what Degford's doing in respect to the getting the imagery, and then we can work out, because obviously Degford isn't necessarily qualified as a climber, he just doesn't climb as much as he'd like, but how hard can it be, especially when you've got a grapple gun to shoot up there and then just get it carried up by the gun?
Well, I have done some climbing, except I've done nothing like this. Plus, the other thing is, camping outside the civilized area, I've never done, even though I've got the calling to do it, but I've never decided to put any knowledge towards it.
Well, you're not ashamed that you're a priest. You do think that if you want to get your gear up there, you might need to send them up with climbers. Because Flogger and Womp could probably make it up in the 4 hours.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, I'm figuring that even though, well, certainly Flogger and Bolt, I would think are, again, not necessarily trained at climbing, but I reckon they'd be pretty good natural talent at it.
Well, Bolt will also be good for, just in case it takes a little bit longer, if we actually need to camp out there at night time.
But yeah. So how are they going with Goldie, and do they find out anything about their plans or best routes or things like that as part of their...
Okay, so Ariadna, what skill would you like to use to confuse Goldie?
Do you have my stats up there?
I do. You do have deception.
I think, is that my best one, or is charm, or the charisma version in Shadowrun better? I know I strengthened my deception in Shadowrun, but I thought I was slightly better at being nice to people than not being nice to people.
You are better at lying to people than you are at charming them. That's
then
Tala's
that
role.
stat.
And I think Bolt's very good at lying to people as well.
Am I?
Well, it's hunting based, so... But you may not be trained, but...
Well, considering you've got two of you working together, Bolt could literally help Shadow.
I would accept
And-
and appreciate
I-
help.
Pause for a moment,
feel
Jeremy.
I do have one. I am trained and I
Yeah.
do have one thing in it, so.
Right, so go ahead, Jeremy.
I was going to say that, and this is probably a role that's worth upgrading if you have the opportunity to.
Yeah, I
If
always
we,
upgrade.
if we can avoid Goldie finding out our plans, that would be good.
So upgrading.
I'm happy to help Shadow.
Always upgrade if I'm allowed to upgrade, but I don't know how many we've got left.
Well, we now have 2 left from this upgrade.
Okay.
Okay.
As Jeremy said,
green or.
What it does is it converts a green to a yellow when you upgrade, and if it's all yellow, it adds a green.
Oh no, as in like when I help Shadow.
When you help Shadow, you change it from 2 yellow and a green to 2 yellow and 4 green. And then with the upgrade, it's 3 yellow and 3 green.
she's pretty formidable though, so.
You don't have any talents that actually make it difficult for her to decipher?
I
Or?
don't.
She does have a special ability that she can use once per session to make someone forget what happened in the last 30 minutes.
I might be using that, but it depends on whether or not I roll a despair.
Oh, okay.
There's potential for 3 of them, I think.
What's it?
I
Oh, that's a
can't look to
decent
the
roll.
left at all, so I don't know.
I mean,
how
we
roll.
could make the Baron forget that he's got that he's gotten robbed.
Yeah, well, we might have to do that too, but we
Does
won't
it affect one person or multiple, that ability?
Give me a sec.
I can't go up the symbols are, but you're left with a yellow and a green die, so that's a good thing.
I've got 2 successes and an advantage.
Okay, cool.
She can affect 3 people
Okay.
because it's equal to her cunning. So yes, you got 2 successes and an advantage. So you have managed to hold off her questions, and she is.
Oh, sorry.
You want to say something?
I was going to roleplay it rather than just talk through.
I was going to continue with that once I got through the basics thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Is you managed to hold off her questions, and so she starts asking you about other places you'd like to see, what sort of recreational needs you have while you're staying in their little village.
Shadow will start off by to get her to turn around from asking her intrusive questions. She'll start off by asking her own questions about, have you travelled out of the village ever? Have you lived here all your life? What brought you here? If you know, how did you get here?
She has studied in Germany.
Really?
In the capital, my brain can't tell me what the capital of
Berlin?
Germany is. Berlin, that would be it. Even though my brain went, there is the word, and Denmark is not it.
No, Denmark is very far away from you. But that's okay. Your geographical radar can be off on that.
Yep. And she talks about how she's done a lot of traveling. She accompanies the Baron on some of his expeditions to.
What's that like? That must be super cool.
Always good because he's a collector of rare antiquities.
Oh, really? What kind of antiquities?
He loves his books, manuscripts, and artifacts about trolls.
Oh, that sounds kind of a bit boring. I'm not a big into books. I like nature and you know, I like being out in it and well, as you can see my friend here, I really we like enjoy just the feel of where we live. It's all city and there's just no green at all. I can't imagine being able to be just surrounded by, but I don't care how cold it is. The fact that there's trees here. I'm an elf, as you know. And, you know, there's just no trees where I come from. Even if I had to shiver myself to my bones, I'd be happy to sit out here all night just to spend time looking at the stars. And, I could almost, except they're really scratchy, not good for your skin, I could almost hug these things. But, I prefer they be like softer and maybe covered in moss before I went to that extent. And I'll just keep going along those lines.
And what was Jeremy going to say?
I was going to say to Ariadne's awareness, obviously happy that Shadowstar deliberately going with the Dixie tourist cover to avoid being questioned of things. But the statement that the Baron is keen on books of antiquity about trolls is probably odd.
Yeah.
On the idea that certainly as far as common history goes, well, let's face it, it's not like any trolls of today would want to be associated with the trolls that are in the history books and the fairy tales and things like that.
So
it's an interesting impression for a troll to be trying to chase up history, or finding out historical references about trolls.
Yeah, so I caught it, but I don't want to immediately grab onto it. So as I'm talking about it, I'll come back around to kind of like the trolls and things. I'm like, I'll come back to with, well, actually, when I think about it, it is actually kind of interesting that he's looking into the history of trolls, because my friend Flog here, of course, is a troll, and I've got another friend with our group, as you know, who's also a troll, and I've come to know that in their own way they're actually really intelligent about what they do. They may not always be book smart, but they've got other intelligence that translate. It's interesting that your Baron reads books, though. Is that normal for a troll in these parts? Is it a cultural thing, maybe, or?
She sort of thinks you're being a little racist, saying that trolls don't normally read.
That's the birth of the character of Dixie.
Currently,
Tourist.
out of the trolls that she's met, 50% can read.
Yeah, no, I'm utterly aware that you read textbooks I could never deal with, and that you're super intelligent. Yeah. But I'm supposed to be a ditzy tourist.
Yeah, but the other troll doesn't read, so 50%.
Yeah, so what I and rather than make it feel sort of, I will try and communicate that rather than racist, I'm more just ignorant, and I'm looking to be educated by someone who's less ignorant than I am. And so I'll say, like, forgive my ignorance. I don't have much experience with other people in other countries. This is my first time outside. I want to go to other places, and I want to experience other cultures and see what other people do or what it's like. Where I come from, they don't actually read an awful lot, but that's because we don't get the opportunity. So, I don't get to read an awful lot either.
As well.
If you can dig out of this hole by digging upwards, I would do that. But I feel like you're just
Okay, so she doesn't comment much on the Troll Society because, well, she's not. She doesn't consider herself an expert on trolls. Because she doesn't see the fact that her employer is a troll to be anything other than normal.
Okay. He seems to be very interested in his ancestry, and I think that's commendable. I think
So
everyone should.
Her opinion on that is that most elves have claimed homelands of their own in this day and age, but orcs and trolls don't seem to have the same sort of connotations. Neither do dwarves.
I feel they should. I feel they should claim every race has a history and an ancestry that they should investigate and fully, have ownership of if they're able to have ownership of that.
She's not really on board with that because the elves have literally kicked non-elves out of their homelands.
I don't agree with what my own people have done there. I think we should be able to share our space. Just because I am an elf doesn't mean that I agree with what other elves do. Fortunately, I don't have the money, the influence, or the education to be able to change that. But my opinion that I share a room with two trolls and with Bolt here and with other. I spend time with humans, and I really enjoy learning about other people's cultures and languages and just their traditions, and I think that it's a really good thing that we share those sorts of things. I think we can't change the situation unless we do share those things.
Well, she will happily let you know if she stumbled across anything that may interest you, but she's going to spend the rest of her day busy in workarounds.
Mm-hmm.
But she's happy she was able to show you around for about half a day.
Does she try to talk to Flogger or Bolt at all?
She did try, but you had answered for them.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, she might have gotten Flogger to implicate you.
Out of them. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we probably don't want her getting information out of them. If she's happy to leave us alone and go back to her workarounds,
And
that kind of helps us.
Assumption is that Bolt had also assisted you in diverting her attention.
Yeah, well, that's because Bolt's very good at that.
Okay, so the group of you meet up back at the youth hostel with Tarlin having gotten through 3 or 4 craft brews by the time you arrive. Or at least she has 3 or 4 empty craft brews, not telling how much she's already disposed of.
Well, and hopefully she doesn't have extra guests. So, well, certainly one of the first things that Declan will do when getting back to the hospital will be, if we haven't actually previously packed up the gear again, he'll put it back in the boxes, so therefore it's less obvious if the cameras aren't getting turned on. I'm picturing quite large crate for the boxes though, so we're not necessarily something we can wander down the street to take to the church without being very obvious about.
Well, technically, Flogger and Womp could easily carry the crates under something and not be as obvious.
It would still be visibly carrying something big and bulky.
That is true, but hey, I'm sure the father would be able to make up some excuse if you asked him.
Yeah. Or possibly, in fact, it can. Would they fit in the car?
The crates would not fit in the car. The car is not designed for anything other than short people. So if anyone is over 5.5 feet tall, unfortunately the car is squishy. And if you have a strength rating higher than 3, the car is squishy.
Well, I expect that meant that Declan was folded up a little bit, but as I say, he certainly wasn't pushed to width. So, I don't know exactly how tall Declan is off the top of my head, but being an elf, I'm assuming he's tallish.
It seems to be designed for the Eastern European people who are on average 5 feet tall.
Yeah, and underfed. So, okay. So, well, yep, we're well gathered back after a wonderful day of sightseeing and wandering and things like that. And discuss what people found. They're going to want will catch up the others. Shadow, Blogger, and Bolt can catch us up on what they found out and heard of.
So one of the things between the three of you, three groups, is you found out that the town hall in the city does have a comprehensive record on paper kept about the town.
In that case, in the afternoon, I might go to the town hall if it's open and do some research.
You have quite a few bureaucrats and functionaries are willing to assist you in any details you're looking for.
I just think this is a beautiful place, and the castle is very majestic. And while I'd like to go on a tour of the castle tomorrow, I really want to find out more about the actual town. Some of these buildings look really old, and they look really interesting. And I'm starting to come to realize that I'm really quite ignorant about other races and cultures and peoples, and so I'm learning to rectify my ignorance by educating myself.
Okay, so they're asking if you'd like an architectural, a cultural, a political, a economic, or a tourism discussion about the town. They can do other sort of discussions as well, but that's the things they specialize
I
in.
would like cultural and architectural.
Well, which one would you like first, because they're different people?
Okay, so I'll start with cultural, so it doesn't look overly obvious, and my cover of I'm an ignorant tourist and I would like to rectify that actually sticks.
Okay, so they have a little room put off to the side for you to sit down in and get a interactive video presentation with a staff member there in person to help guide you through the process.
Sounds good. Shadow is actually genuinely also interested.
As he goes through the cultural identity of being from the Mochbahausen region, for being a local, for being a non-human, for basically how they feel they fit into today's minefield of a world, and how each little mini barony of Germany is almost a cultural divide, as each is trying to push their own brand of Germany on the rest of the country.
That I actually am very interested in that. That might be helpful in when we have to leave and things like that, because we might have to cross into other baronies and stuff.
And each barony is almost considered a domain in itself, and forces of one barony are strongly discouraged from entering another at the point of bullets flying.
Wow, that sounds pretty serious.
So flying the colours of one barony or entering another will get you shot at.
Wow.
They shoot first and don't ask questions.
Does that make it difficult for tourists to visit different regions?
No, your tourists don't wear the colours, the tourists are fine.
Yeah, okay, so if you're a local and
Just don't wear the colours as you travel.
yeah, you've got to be very careful about how you dress
And the colours are the guards of each baron have their own coloration in their designs, and they're the ones that are encouraged to stay within their own borders and protect the interests of their little dominion.
Okay. That sounds. Privately, Shadow thinks that sounds really horrific for the poor people here. That they can't even venture outside of their own borders without risk of being shot.
Well, the bureaucrats and the townsfolk can. Just the guards, while wearing the official colours of the town, are not allowed to officially cross the borders because that's considered an act of war between the baronies.
It sounds like a high-risk job.
Well, that's why they, if you happen to be have committed a crime in one barony and are chased across the border, the guards will not follow you.
This is useful information. Crossing the border may well save our lives. And sounds like a good exit strategy.
And quite a few border crossings have been made via glider.
Glider, you say?
Occasionally a glider is shot down, but that is rarer these days, as most gliders don't have the guard colours on them.
Wonder how big a glider you would need to carry a troll.
Have you seen Operation Market Garden?
I don't.
Bridge too far. Those gliders.
Well, you're expecting it to either incorporate magic or incorporate technology and not technically be a glider anymore.
I see. That is a very good point.
Otherwise, the size of the glider would no longer be subtle and would ping off every radar system and be shot down. The purpose of a glider is to be only slightly bigger than the person, more than they can comfortably stretch out to, and by limiting the actual span of the glider is the smaller radar imprint and less of a threat.
Gliders, big tick.
And the recommendation on carbon fibre over metal, because any metal in the infrastructure will ping off just about every guidance system in the area. So for hobbyists, they recommend carbon fibre because they talk about how to enjoy the spending time in the upper sky without being splatting on the ground in many pieces.
And is there a place around Munchmausen where, gliders could be acquired for those of us who want to climb up to the tops of some of those peaks and then glide down through those beautiful valleys?
The castle does have, where the tram stops, a glider platform because, well, it is the best place in this region to launch a glider from, as it's got a very good updraft from the cliff face.
And where can one acquire
You can
gliders?
book in advance. You can decide to get one when you finish, and each of those gliders is equipped with a tracking beacon to let the automated defences know exactly where you are at any given point in time.
In the journal diary that Shadow has in her head where she's making notes on this thing, she has a great big box with a great big asterisk saying, disarm, take off, tracker before stealing glider to escape.
And each of those gliders are made with metal so that metal mesh in the actual parachute material for strengthening it and making sure it is always on their radar system.
So it will show up on their radar system.
But it's flagged as friendly. which is what the tracking system does.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Unless, of course, you've just stolen from the Baron, in which case he'll know exactly which ones you've taken.
Yeah, but...
Or unless, of course, you've disabled the tracking system and therefore also disabled the identify friend foe.
Yes, well, yes, they'd still be able to track you because you're metal, but if you're crossing a border in it, they're technically not going to follow
They
you.
give you maybe 10 to 100 meters in the air before the automated tracking system fires, if you are not a friend. All non-friends are fired upon.
Okay, so this sounds tricky, and
It's
my brain is going to take this problem to someone like Desrin, and let him and Tatiana figure out that. I'm just taking down mentally the details that gliders are away off the castle potentially.
and occasionally used by the security forces as part of their scouting. So they are tested and infrequent use, just that they hire them out at the same time. Waste not, want not, as the Baron says.
Yeah, no, that sounds very practical. You wouldn't want people making off with gliders. I believe they would be very expensive equipment to replace.
And the local hotels, not the youth hostel, are all 5 to 7 star hotels designed for the rich and wealthy of Germany and the rest of Europe to come and enjoy the slopes, the views, and the food, because each of the chefs here are considered master crafters in their own right.
Well, I've tried the cheese here already, as well as the local brews, and so far it's been very impressive.
Yes, most of the cheeses and brews on sale are the what they consider not good enough for the hotels.
Yeah.
But of course, the hotels all come with a steep price. Most of them start at 1,000 credits a night.
We're staying in a youth hostel, aren't we?
You are. It's already being paid for.
Yeah. So, I'm not complaining about an already paid for room.
And the youth hostel has an automated laundry and kitchen, which will provide you with nutrition and clean linen.
This is good as well. Very convenient and handy. I gather I'll get my architectural talk, but maybe other people want a chance to do things?
So while you're doing that, what is everyone else doing? Did anyone else wish to follow Shadowstar into the bureaucracy of Germany?
Flog is probably listening, going, I understand best.
I would, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit in there.
The doors are rather low, and so is the ceilings in the bureaucracy. Go, Jeremy.
I was going to say, they're going to probably encourage him, particularly Womp, Flogger, and Bolt, to hang around the hostel while we go through some of the climbing gear and bits and pieces, just to see whether or not. Like to talk to them about, okay, and go to the images of the wall and the cliff face to get an idea of, hey, do you guys know about climbing? Do you reckon you could get up that face?
Yeah, maybe familiarise them with
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So they actually talk you through how it will be used and whether or not, because yeah, Declan he's certainly not a climber, except because he's in the parkour side with coordination, but he's got the athletics for climbing. But he does look at Bolt and Flogger being particularly strong. I'm sure they can climb up anything if they wanted to, but whether they actually have, he's just questioning
They climbed the sides
what
of
involved.
buildings in the past.
Okay, so for Josh's knowledge, Flogger can basically tell any of them all the uses of the climbing gear. You know it inside and out, and you can pretty much rig up anything you need to with that gear that's provided, and probably a few things more.
Yeah, new Flogger we could have.
So flying ducks is an in-house.
Quietly and speaking, hang on.
I'm the one all three of us.
Well, Flogger has 3 ranks in athletics and is well trained in all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gives
I
some
can I use the plot to do it. The secret's good. Who are you? Or what's the plot?
I have a question, Martin.
Yep.
Would we be able to climb up that mountain without the gear?
Let's see. Flogger and Womp definitely. And Bolt only could in hybrid mode, not in wolf mode and not in human mode.
Yeah,
The climbing gear will make it easier.
Shadow and
No.
Tarn.
I understand the climb ride is easier. I'm just saying, if all else fails.
So the climbing gear is really designed for the 3 of you to scale and then haul up the others.
That's actually the second gear, when you can then the rest of it come up. Although, with the grapple gun, they're going to feel that, yep, okay, you can probably actually launch the line up there, and the grapple gun designed to basically hang on to the harness and
Yeah, but doesn't
be wrapped up. So, but again,
grapple gun
probably only helps
trying to get
the weight. Technically, I have to do it, but
Yeah, try not to talk over each other at the same time. Go, Jeremy.
I was going to say that, yeah, from their perspective, being lying off the grapple gun, actually, they reacted if they were going to have trouble. We're just glad to hear that the others are thinking, hey, yeah, we could do that next one.
And what was
I would
one
say
thing?
will the grapple gun be more successful on going to the castle wall because it's actually got
It would be what you'd need to scale the wall, yes,
Yeah,
because
it
it wouldn't be easy to scale by hand.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
saying
so-
it wouldn't be that easier on the cliff face due to the fact that you've got loose dirt there.
It can potentially grab onto things because that's what they're
Yeah.
designed to do, but it would be best on the wall.
I think
Yeah.
the plan of having Flogger and potentially Bolt in hybrid going up the cliff face first and then aiding all the rest of us unskilled people up the cliff face would be probably quicker, and then using the grapple gun on the walls would be probably the faster ways. Is that right, Mark?
It would, and Flogger is quite good at putting together hidey holes along the way as needed.
Yeah, we might.
So he's quite skilled at coming up for ways of not being seen.
Yeah, he's got like 50,000 portals.
This is he's not
I'm
talking
joking.
about portals. He's talking about this is what Flogger is good at. It's up to Josh how he'd like to explain that.
Yeah, so
Really
I was just going to say, so we're all skipping over the bit that I really want to hear,
Flogger,
which is I
Flogger-
want to hear,
Flogger born in. Oops, sorry.
I was going to say, I want to hear Flogger give us the climbing training lesson. In
Flogger
Flogger
born in
voice.
mountains. Flogger well know small caves and how to climb.
Oh, okay. So you're a mountain troll. Mountain cave troll.
And do you go through the gear and tell us how to use it?
Oh. I show you how to use it, yes. Hard to use words to explain climbing gear.
So make your sound effects as you're putting the climbing gear on people.
Diego will also fit the micro transceivers onto Flogger, basically leaving an open line, telling don't touch it, we'll turn it on and off as needed. I figure that yes, the intent will be that we definitely want to have some communication while we're going up the mountain on the idea that particularly if Flogger is able to effectively find hidey holes during any of the stages. There's like 4 stages going up. We want to be able to actually be as covered as possible when people aren't actually climbing and being on the lookout for the surveillance patrols. And by having the transfer do something to do with communication when one person spots a patrol or a plane, take cover.
How good is Shadow hiding us from?
Shadow does have fairly good stealth, and she can stealth at least 1 to 2 other people near her at a time. So probably, like, if I'm being pulled up with, say, Talon or Desrin, I could shadow stealth.
They're got pretty good stealth himself.
I can generally stealth at least 1 person with me. I've stealthed Flogger before, like completely hidden him if I needed to.
Yeah, the pizza delivery scene all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Helen is
Poor
happy
pizza
to
driver.
accompany the boring bureaucracy if required.
I was going to say, I think aside from architectural, I'm not sure we need any of the other education. We might do touristy just to kind of fit in, because we've got to work on lowering that alert level, because they're at alert level high, pay all attention on us right now. So the more we look like dumb tourists, which is why I was going to say your favourite part will follow. After all this boring time in the town hall, we'll go hit the tavern and get drunk like tourists. But I won't drink, you'll do all the drinking. I'll have just vodka, which will be water.
Amazing.
Okay, so
You're gonna have to suck it up, Talon, and drink all the alcohol for me.
No!
I don't know. They probably don't drink any of that Russian stuff here in Woodhouse, Malcolm.
Gin, whatever is clear.
they have mostly murky looking drinks.
Well, hopefully there's some nearby plants that...
As a lot of their things really are the beers that are served hot.
Okay, so I'll put it this way. I'll use my stealth. Every time Talon finishes a glass, I'll switch it with my full glass, take her empty glass, and pretend I've just finished mine. That way, she can use her constitution alcohol drinking superpower, and I can stay sober the whole night and protect us both.
Yeah, her superpower is she's always drunk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's always hair of the dog.
In the same way as the Hulk is always angry.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Banner is always angry.
Okay, so yes, you do have a fantastic night out on the town, though with the architectural notes you find out the castle has 3 separate histories of construction, with the castle having been bombed out during the Second World War and the First World War and the Third World War. And occasionally being hit during the Euro Wars.
Yeah.
Until the current Baron put in the air defense system, and it hasn't been damaged since then. So most of it is considered new, though it has been artificially done in a heritage style on the outside. It is definitely not no longer heritage underneath.
I don't suppose we get any access to accidental extra plans, or plans we've got are pretty good. We don't need more information on top of that.
You get pretty good pictures on what it used to be. It at various stages, including some of the debris fields left over from various wars that came through, and that the current Baron has basically tried to keep up a local architectural design throughout the town and torn down anything that was not in keeping with that design. So about 20 odd buildings disappeared after he imposed that.
While I'm in the building and area, is there any sign that there might be, I guess for what I like a better word, confidential type section?
There are. You expect a lot of the stuff where the people are working behind the counter to be considered confidential.
I'm considering whether or not it's worth trying to have a look at the confidential section. Do they have anything on the types of things in the castle, like the collections? And I won't say books, I'll just be like, there must be a lot of cool statues and, you know, things like that from over the years. Do they have anything sort of on the types of things that he has there?
All they tell you is he has a architectural collection in the castle that he does not share, and that if you do a tour of his castle, the tour guides will tell you about some of the items on display.
Alright.
Not all of them, because the Baron actually lives in the keep and has changes the displays on a semi-regular basis without informing people.
Yeah, it sounds kind of regular for the castle. Alright, well, I don't think I'll push my luck. I don't think it's worth trying to get Talon to do a distraction and then have a look at the confidential section, so I'll just, I'll continue with the facade of being a tourist, and I'll ask for the touristy talk, but we don't have to go over that in detail in terms of dragging back the night, unless it's going to be new or extra information for us in the touristy talk.
Okay, so the touristy talk is very bland. Feels that Goldie gave you more information because Goldie tailored it to what you said your interests were. This touristy thing almost gives you the you should buy this here with the little messages thrown in between, making you all feel thirstier by the time you finish watching the tourist thing.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the tavern and get hideously drunk.
And you seem to know all the slogans of each of the shops by the time you finish going through the tourist information. Not that you remember seeing them.
Okay, alright. All good.
Like the best beers at Joe's, the best burgers at Dean's, the best, and basically it just is the.
I'll almost be pulling Talon in front of me as a defense system as I back out of the town hall. Say stop. And then we'll stop back into the youth hostel to get a little bit of training from Flogger, because no one's missing that. And I'll also update everyone with the information I got about the gliders, because that seems particularly useful, and the air defense system that we'll need to be aware of, and see whether or not we can get any extra information out of the townspeople overnight. If not, just go on the castle tour the next day.
But I think the one question that Desmond has, and it's part of the player, so that when you have the opportunity to look at when you do the architecture side of it, discussing the fact that the castle have been rebuilt after they can find over the years, I'm assuming that there wasn't actually any interior maps of the castle.
Yeah.
That you got access to?
We just got before, during, and after photos or pictures of each sort of. This is it destroyed, this is it being remodeled, this is it after, this is it destroyed again, and so on.
Yeah. But they say nothing that will actually say, oh, hang on, yes, they're likely to keep their priceless book in this room on this level of the castle.
Well, we know it's in the.
I'm assuming not, but I can't double check.
They are very details light when it comes to anything useful.
Okay, so
I did think that was the case, but
it is. So I'll discuss. I'll come back and I'll discuss with the group. Do you guys think it's worthwhile going back at some point and causing a distraction while one of us stealths and sees whether or not there's more detailed like interior maps and things like that? You know, we've been in there once, you know, since we're staying here for a few days hiking, it could be something that we could use as a continual cover, that we're going back to have other more boring talks and yeah, what do you guys think?
Possibly, we may have a better source of information initially anyway.
Yeah.
Possibly Father Braun will be able to give, if not a rough interior map of the castle. And he appears to be quite helpful.
I would rather try.
They're planning on going back to talk to Father Braun either that afternoon or later in the evening or that stuff is basically to actually discuss further the option of storing some equipment and gear at the church.
Enthusiastically, I will agree that I would much rather do that than go through more educational talks at the town.
And just, you know, and I'm just thinking about that realistically, obviously, yes, if we have detailed interior maps, like architectural designs, perfect. Realistically, I expect we're basically looking at, what floor does he normally live on? What rooms would he normally keep, something like his library or stuff like that?
I know he normally lives
and therefore basically a general idea where we might expect to end up.
We know he lives in the keep and that he doesn't go out of the keep. We're
talking four floors in the keep, so there's obviously multiple rooms. It'd be handy for you which floor to go to and a starting point.
I'm hoping the tour will give us a little bit more information, and maybe the father will give us extra information on that. Alright.
Yeah, exactly, you might want. But yeah, so the ladies are going to enjoy a night on the town.
Oh no, I'm taking Flogger. I want to see a dance off.
Take one or two, that's really cool.
If Bolt wants to come, he can come, but I don't know if Womp wants to be involved in tavern.
I'll be involved in the tavern, but
yeah.
I ain't dancing.
Oh no, I'm not much of a dancer either, but I like to see other people try to outdance Flogger because it's funny, and I win a lot of money on the bets I make.
And okay, certainly I think that considering the party that would be going to for a night on the town, it becomes probably simpler for Desmond to be looked amongst that crowd, and therefore less noticeable that he's not there. If he goes to talk to the priest, and if he's available in the evening. The idea of his own talk to the priest and say, hey, look, we've got some gear that would be advantageous to not doing. It's been crowded in the hospital room with the supplies that have been provided. Possibly some of the gear is not necessarily, we've got some gear we may not end up using, and hey, if we've got to leave it behind, it would be good to leave it to a good cause.
Well, you also point out that we're sharing a room with two trolls. There's not a lot of space in there.
Exactly.
Okay, so in the first we'll do the people off dancing.
Yep.
You're having a great time, and you do find that Flogger is introduced to the local dance style.
Oh no.
Traditional dance.
The slap dance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Flogger's doing the slap dance!
Does Flogger participate?
Flogger definitely participates here.
Flogger doesn't participate, he leads.
Flogger has a fantastic time. He is the life of the party. Everyone takes time to make sure he learns their traditional dance, but has fun doing so. And while he's learning, they buy everyone else drinks. So, one of the first times you've been out and not had to pay for your own drinks.
Talon is in heaven.
That's the part of this sort of stuff, probably an advantage.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I'm very happy about this too.
Yeah, non-locals generally add a 0 to the cost of everything. Okay, so Desiree, you do find yourself back with the good father, and he says he's able to help, takes you into his personal office.
What's the father's name again?
Okay, so Desmond deliberately, he will be deliberately very quiet and try not to be seen heading towards the current initially. On the idea that practically the rest of the group is providing enough distraction around her that he's not noticed that he's not with them.
So it is Braun.
Braun, as in
B-R-A-U-N.
as in the shaver.
Yes.
It's good.
No, it was just about 8 pages back.
Sorry. I just wasn't. I was in the kitchen at the time. It was mentioned, and I didn't get to write it down.
And he has a couple of sheets on his table that looks like actual paper.
So Desmond will have been coming to his private office and quietly confirming that we can we should be unobserved, not listened to in here.
Well, yeah, he sort of gestures to be quiet at that point before you say too much.
Yeah, I think good and the idea. He needs to walk it to get to the stage where he's going. If he's like, let me find out whether or not we can talk, and if we, whether it's a wait one moment, and then we can talk type situation.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, have you mentioned the gliders and metal versus carbon fibre? It could be worthwhile asking him whether or not they might know someone who might have some carbon fibre gliders, because if Flogger has stash holes and can find stash holes, we could possibly get our own carbon fibre gliders up there. Maybe that's a complication, maybe it's too much. I don't know, but, you know, it's a thought.
The concern that Desmond would have with the concept of getting out by a carbon fibre, if the glider of any side, is while he's confident that while he's never actually flown in a glider before, he just takes the controls, he can make it work. I'm not confident about the rest of the being able to fly single person gliders.
Well,
It's not everybody.
Might be worth mentioning it to him. He might have
I think at this point, Desmond probably is automatically thinking balls.
Not especially just fault, no. In fact, in some ways, he's thinking, well, I'll again, might have the coordination, the dexterity to make it work.
Well, maybe.
But he's also thinking about the idea of the type of carbon fibre glider that needs to inadvertently float up. But yes, certainly happy that the gliders are an option to get out. Obviously, Father Bourne has also suggested that he might be able to provide assistance in that stage too, that when we can talk more privately, we can discuss what kind of options they might include.
I guess just keep the gliders in mind as one of the logistics of that you might discuss with him or just bring up.
Yeah.
So before you talk too much to Father Braun, he turns on a sound system,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear the sound of him very much sounds as if he's putting together a sermon about the church, the religion, going into the details of life in the church for those who are interested.
Mm-hmm.
As he takes you back to the table and is sort of whispering to you that he believes that the keep is currently on a wary sort of status.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have upped their patrols.
Okay.
And that he has managed to get some notes on what you'll find in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
He says the first floor has reception, some offices, some security, plus an elevator.
Reception, did you say security and
An elevator. The second floor has the formal dining room, the antler hall with trophies from the Baron.
What was the first?
Oh, okay, so yeah, so basically a dining hall with massacres everywhere.
So dining hall was the first one area with antler hall.
Antler hall.
Kitchen and guest rooms. So
Antimacass.
the third floor has a great hall, his library, which is said to have his greatest treasures, including a medieval text. His personal chambers, his bar, and he has a very large room dedicated to his closet.
Well, he's a light man, got light clothes.
His fourth floor is the servants' room, his personal chapel, what he calls Brown Hall.
A brown hall?
Yep. Which is said to house his personal vehicle, as well as the main security center for the complex.
Desmond's remembering the road up and down the mountainside. Personal vehicle?
The personal vehicle is 3 floors up.
Yeah, but does he know what the personal vehicle is? Because I'm thinking they say, access to ground vehicle is challenging.
He believes it's flight capable.
Right, okay.
And
inside the building.
his basement has his personal museum, his personal vault, and then his lower basement has his swimming pool, his weight room, his gymnasium, his steam room, and his fungarium where he grows his fungi.
Sorry, you said that really fast. It had his gym.
The pool, the weight room, the gym, the steam room, and his fungarium.
Yeah, thanks. It's because he's a fun guy.
Or at least he'd like to keep fungi around you.
So it is technically a 6-story tower, but only 4 of the stories are above ground.
Yeah. I don't suppose Father Braun is invited up to Aaron's chapel as part of he happen to be the personal spiritual guide for the Baron.
He's not.
He sounds like he's too secular for that.
As the Baron himself is not religious, he has turned his chapel into a gallery for paintings.
Right, okay.
As he has many oil paintings and figurines from early 18th century.
So certainly, if Father Braun wants to know more information about what we're looking for, Declan's feeling like he's trusting him enough to he'd be willing to talk to him. But he also understands if Father Braun doesn't want to know, then that's understandable too. Are there any ways into the keep other than presumably the ground floor doors?
He does say that if you were to, take a skydiving trip from one of the neighbouring baronies, you might be able to drop in, but he doesn't like your chances with anything useful.
Well, okay, we're talking about the idea of like, okay, if we get over the walls and we're inside the courtyard area, are there ways of getting into the keep from directly into the 3rd or 4th floor or something like that, rather than going past the bottom floors? Like, are there windows or anything like that?
There are windows on every floor, and I'm sure that there are security systems on all of them too. The central keep of the castle is the reputed the most heavily defended part of this town.
Not the great one. If he's apparently got an air-capable vehicle kept on the 4th floor,
3rd floor.
How did it get in and out? 3rd floor. How did it get in and out?
It is not common knowledge you're seeing.
Okay. And then, the other main point that Declan wants to try and get from Father Braun is, can we deliver, or if he's got the church van or horse and cart possibly, that might be able to discreetly collect some of the items from our hostel.
Or he can.
We've got 4 live boxes.
He can shake up a group of fairly reliable friends that will happily move things discreetly.
Yes, I'm thinking that it'd be advantageous to have this here rather than there. And as I said, we're not necessarily likely to actually use all the equipment that's been provided for our holiday.
Well, his friends also do the restocking of the youth hostel as well as local maintenance of the township. So they're quite reliable people.
And then we've all going to notice the sort of people that, hey, you mentioned that possibly he should provide active egress route from the town. I'm assuming these are the fact people can do that sort of thing too. So, like I said, in that case then, Declan would be keen to get the 4th crate of equipment out of our room. And into the basement, whatever, of the church, the chapel, And he also mentioned the fact that there's when we get the stuff back through there, he might be interested in a white noise generator. He might be equipment, but we won't be able to take home with this.
Okay, what does this area not want to include?
How are we going to explain where the 4 crates went? Because is it known that we've got all those crates there?
Yes, because the tourist person told you they've been delivered.
Yeah. So
Yeah, if you know it,
would it
the,
just be better to...
well, I certainly shouldn't be asking us where they went, because that would imply that they found out they'd been moved.
Yes, but if...
So, but what we can do is they can take the crate, unload all the stuff over there, and then the crates can come back again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And
Would it be
sitting around.
better to leave our crates empty in our room so that it looks like they haven't moved, so that it gives the appearance that we haven't done anything with them? Or perhaps maybe put a bunch of innocuous touristy crap in the crates and leave them open for the cleaning crew to see that it's filled with innocuous touristy crap, rather than actual, stuff to be suspicious of. Because I'm pretty sure that between Talon, Bolt and Flogger, we could hit all the tourist trap shops here and fill up those crates real fast.
Well, yes. The intent will be that the crate will come back to be in the room. So therefore, and then, after a few days, if we have them open for different pieces, great. Obviously, there's still probably some curiosity at the idea of we'll organise them up to have crates sent to our room in order to fill them up rather than actually deliver anything. But
look,
back to the question.
Tourists do this all the time. It costs so much to fly stuff back. You ship it back. So therefore, I will give Talon, I don't know, I'm hoping 500 or 200 credits or something like that is enough, and then go, have fun, my dear. Because I'm pretty sure she could spend that in about 5 seconds and still fill up those crates. I think that's one of her secret talents.
Well, let's face it, technically we could easily spend a few thousand and you still make significant money off this month.
Yeah. I want to spend as little as possible.
Not to mention then the opportunity to resell the tourist crap when we get back to America.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
the US.
That's assuming you take the crates with you.
yeah. Assuming we take the crates with us. So, if Talon's willing,
I know, we shall leave them when you be shipped up and sent back eventually.
yeah, that's it. So she's willing. She can go on a shopping spree. I'm happy to go along. I'm pretty sure Bolt and or Flogger, maybe Womp even.
Well, that would have to be the next day.
Yeah, the next day.
Let's say certainly while we're going through the process of planning the operation and things like that, working out when we're going to try and scale the cliffs, Declan's happy to be involved in tourist shopping because he's happy to bargain for the best price on any souvenirs we get.
Then you can take everyone shopping, and I'm going to have a quiet afternoon somewhere. If that works, that Declan can basically get all the stuff transferred that night and get the boxes back again, then that would be good.
Well, they're happy to unload from the crates without actually taking big crates from here back.
Whichever, whatever technique they've got that's the best way of transporting the stuff without being seen, I'm happy to go with.
Because as far as they're concerned, if the crates don't actually move, they probably won't notice stuff, but they do say that there's a good chance that they have opened the crates.
Do you think they've already opened them?
The Father Braun does believe they probably already opened it, and depending on
So not worth it then?
he says that if your crates are still here looking full, then they will least likely think you're up to something.
So no shopping spree?
It says, well, that's completely up to you.
Saddening.
If all they're doing is seeing other crates full and not looking inside it, then they're not going to know that you've taken the gear.
Well, I guess if we fill them up with something else that weighs something, well then yes, that might help. But if they're opening them up without us
They would have opened it before they put it in the room.
being there,
I would have expected that there would have been seals on the crates. I'm guessing those seals have been broken then, or?
They didn't look broken when you got in there, but they are skilled people.
Father Braun is suspecting that, yes, whilst the crates would appear to have been sealed, it is likely that they've been opened. Okay, yep.
that's disappointing. But
Or
yes.
scan in a way to give them some sort of idea, because he does point out that the head tool person, the spy master, had suspected one of you was a doctor
A doctor.
due to the medical care inside the crates.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Well, anyway, if we can get the equipment that's in the crates off to another space, then it means there's likely no room anymore to be discovered. And then, yep. As I say, it's not like they're going to ask us about the crates until we've been arrested or detained in some way, because that then says that, oh, hang on, yes, we were looking in your personal property and we entered your personal room without permission.
He does say that while the Baron is suspicious of you, he's more likely to let you have free reign and wait and see what it is you're doing if he can keep track of you. Whereas if you surprise him, it will most likely be shoot to kill.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At the moment he is suspicious, so his guards will most likely be on alert to keep an eye out for people coming and not shoot whatever is strange and unusual.
Well, I guess we have to try to keep the pretense of being tourists up.
Well, he says you currently flag suspicion on them, so they are going to be on the lookout for you and not shoot at you if they notice something out of way. Whereas when they weren't suspicious of you, if they noticed you where you weren't supposed to be, they would shoot to kill.
Okay.
That's basically their orders. Is if they're not on alert and they notice something out of unusual, the Baron has ordered them to just shoot and worry about it later.
Alright, that sounds a bit counterproductive, but sure.
Well, I guess it's the idea that basically, yeah, the Baron's being a paranoid force. If he doesn't know anything about it, then yeah, he doesn't want the shoot to kill. But if he does suspect you, he wants to know what you're up to before capturing you.
I get that, but yeah, it's yeah.
But yeah, okay. So well, obviously, if you've already got some suspicion, then it won't hurt to actually wait another couple of days to potentially do a touristic thing, or we can go around, or we can work out that actually we might as well hit it tonight or whatever. Because obviously it comes out that split between if we can wait till they're completely lax in their security, they believe that we're happily tourists or not doing anything, then we've got less chance of being spotted on the way in, because they'll be more lax in their security. But if we are spotted, or shoot to kill,
We agree on
in which case we've got to reply with likely lethal force type stuff, which makes it much harder potentially to get out.
Yeah.
Or we can rely on the fact they're not going to shoot us, but they're more likely to actually watch us getting in. But personally, I prefer to try to avoid being spotted in the first place, and we'd be happy to wait and see the security die down again after a couple of days.
We already agreed on that, so it's all good. We're all on the the same track.
Well, he is also happy to host a dinner in your honor in the day you head up there, and have some of his friends dressed up in your colourful clothing.
Mm-hmm.
If that would provide you with some sort of assistance and try to keep the eyes of the spy network on his church where it normally is.
Yeah.
He does have a way of stopping their cameras working, but they always seem to find some way to listen in if he's not.
So
prepared.
his friend proposes us at his dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're up.
While you're doing whatever it is you're doing that he doesn't want to know about.
We're up hiking near the castle, having a personal tourist view of.
While you're busy is all he needs to know.
Exactly. Yes. Question that Devastation would have kept this long in the office in the afternoon when Forky getting the instructions on how to use some gear and things like that. One of the questions would have been, can we climb up during the night or just have to during the day?
I'd say maybe we want to climb up during the night if we can, because it's going to be pretty hard to hide in the snow during the day.
What Declan certainly would prefer to go at night, because obviously it's easier to be unseen, but if it's going to make the climb virtually impossible, then that changes the plan.
I will give Josh the information that you probably start just at dusk and use that to find the best spot and then climb up in the cover of night. Especially as you've got some night vision gear.
Yep. Well, and actually, the other factor, of course, is if we are happy to wait another couple of days before we try and storm the castle, then I'm certainly thinking that, well, some of those days would be out practicing some mountain climbing. Whereas, hey, the Goldie certainly knows we had mountain climbing gear, so obviously some of us are mountain climbers, if not everyone. So you can certainly be doing a bit of that practice and getting an idea on how it works and things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously during the daytime.
Yeah, well that's
And,
exactly it. We need to practice our climbing. Does Flogger head up the climbing practice team?
If people feel like they need practice climbing, then Flogger's going to find a basically just a jagged hill face to climb to help train others.
Well, you can actually practice on the cliff face below the castle in daylight.
Yep.
Giving you a good chance of what you're doing, because there are 4 landings up plus the wall. If you don't go higher than the first landing, then anyone watching you won't get too suspicious, because, well, that's what a lot of locals do.
Yeah, I can do that.
Or what tourists do, coming to this mountain's place with mountain climbing gear. So that'll certainly be part of the next couple of days, 2 or 3 days, for the group, however long we think it might take for them to relax in our presence somewhat.
So Talon's going to dress up as a snow bunny, right?
Sorry, Talon's going to
Dress up as a snow bunny. She's the fashion, trendy person, isn't she? She's expressed so
Any of that.
So,
I don't know if that came through on the main mic, but it didn't come through to me at all from Talon.
It didn't come from me either.
okay, so Ariadna had said that would Talon be dressing up as a snow bunny and be the socialite?
Well, obviously.
But I certainly encourage that Thailand come to at least an afternoon of some mountain climbing to go again. Give it a test run, play that, and then you can describe how wonderful it was in the evening to all the admiring men.
Well, you do have a good following of men and women who want to see Thailand practice climbing, as well as giving pointers of cliff faces that are more to her skill level.
Hey, my skill level is amazing. Thank you very much.
Yep, they're definitely amazed. Looking up underneath.
So is that like how they did the TV series of Batman? It's all flat and stuff. So she's pretending to climbing up along the ground.
Yeah.
Well, if they shoot the cameras right, then yes, it does look like she's doing an amazing climb up the side of a cliff face that just happens to be flat and grassy, sticking out at the wrong angle.
Yeah.
Declan might have to remind Bolt a couple of times during the practices that no, don't put your claws out. You're doing this purely in human form for the afternoon.
Trixie would be proud.
And during some of your afternoon training, you've actually managed to squirrel some of your gear at some of the higher ledges.
Nice.
So you don't have to carry everything with you from the village.
Well, Flogger could probably.
And obviously, the other important part of it, particularly from Flogger's perspective, is we've scouted out the easiest route for the first leg.
And while everyone's distracted, he probably scouted out a couple more legs for you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
As most people don't notice when he wanders off.
Yes, because their all eyes are focused on me.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they're all looking at Womp and they think Womp is Flogger.
Oh no, they're all looking at Darla.
That's true.
Go, Josh.
It's more the fact that everyone's fed up with Flogger and they all just walk off anyway.
I'm not.
Oh no, you've got quite a following here as they like your traditional dancing.
Yes.
You're an enthusiastic dance drinker.
You're a slap dance champ.
Especially when it comes to the part to slap your neighbour.
Yeah.
And so you've got quite a few admirers. So Flogger has gained quite the admirers amongst the local dance troupe. But they call it a love tap.
Of course they do.
So the harder you do it, the more you like them.
Well, at least we know.
After a couple of days of being very obvious walking around town with the group and so entertaining ourselves and the locals and team, do we feel good is accepting us?
Well, they seem to be still doing the suspicion of you, but not to the point of pulling you in for questioning.
Well, when are you going to actually chase the joint itself?
You think that if you actually get into the keep, they will definitely question you. Because you're already under suspicion at this stage.
Okay.
We're trying to wait out until the suspicion level drops enough for us to go up to the keep.
And none of you had been talking about wanting to examine the antiquities of the Baron. So that's a completely different thing than any of you have talked about.
Yeah, no, I've expressed interest in the books and the architecture, so I'll, over the days when I'm having breaks from climbing, so that I can slowly develop an interest in antiquities, I will ask more and more questions at the town hall about what are these antique things, why are they such a big thing, and then, you know, it'll become my new trend, and if I need to, I'll bring Talon with me, so that her skills at being over enthusiastic about things without bringing suspicion upon herself will hopefully help smooth that over.
So, does Talon have an interest in out-of-date, old stuff that doesn't have any technology involved in it?
Well, I mean, for the purpose of shadow running and deceiving people, yes, it's.
I was just to say the correct answer is for the amount we're getting paid for, absolutely.
Yeah. She's confident she can bluff it.
So what was that, Al?
I said I have a whole Pinterest board ready to go. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so for Shadowstar and Womp's interest, the moment that they get Talon involved in the questioning, you get a barrage of information about the Baron's interests, including knowledge that he has his favourite book on display in the library in a glass case. Described very much like the book you're looking for.
That's weird.
That's his most prized possession.
Okay. I thought it
Well, I
was
think
probably
it's
talking
hard
about.
Go, Ross.
I thought it would be something more with the talking about the trolls and the Black Forest and his ancestry, because the book that we're after is actually a lot older than that stuff.
That book is about trolls and his ancestry, so that's why it's his most prized possession. And what was that, Jeremy?
Do they specify where the library is?
It's only, well, they don't, but the father told us that it's on the...
On the third floor, but I can't afford to see the collaborating evidence.
It does say it's on the third floor. It has a fireplace in it that connects all the way down to the first floor.
As we're talking to the people about this book, I will say to Talon, in front of the guy who's given us this information at the town hall, do you think that's something you would like to see, Talon? Would you like to go to the castle for a tour to look at this really cool but old book? It's not a leading question at all.
Not at all, and I am not at all led by that question. In fact, I am inspired to remember that, in fact, oh my gosh, yes, that is exactly what I already knew I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so, that's what I want to do.
That they offer to get permission for you to have a private tour of the keep with, if they can, with the Baron himself to explain it all in detail to you. But of course, it would only be Talon going.
Yay.
Could you possibly go without your good friends who are also interested?
Oh, friend.
Yeah.
I can't make it.
Yeah,
You can't
can I
make it,
just
but-
convince
I can't fit in the
them to let
cable
me
car.
take at least one friend? I need one sensible friend on this journey. I cannot be trusted to handle this by myself.
It's either me as your emotional support elf or Bolt as your emotional support animal.
But
Yes.
Bolt's not in the dog form.
Oh, okay.
Bolt's
So
been human the whole time we've been in the town.
okay, so well, in that case,
I wouldn't trust Bolt with this book. I feel like Shadowstar is
Well,
the
I
angel on my
wouldn't,
shoulder.
I wouldn't trust Bolt either. Just.
I would have thought that if you could get one or two others, it would actually be best to be either Shadowstar and or Degran on the idea of the three elves, because obviously the trolls can't go up in the cable car anyway.
yes, yeah. That's true. I'm happy to be
Can I
your
do
servant
can we
or for
do a thing
Desrin.
where we little dice and see if I can convince them to let me bring some.
You want to
Let's
flutter
give you
your
a
eyelashes?
let's give you a charm flattering roll. I'm sure that will showcase just how wonderful you are at getting people to do what you want.
And currently, if there's opportunity for an upgrade, I'd use it because, hey, I'm assuming that this will get one of the last rolls of the day.
Do I have upgrades? Yeah, I want to upgrade that.
If there is one available.
Yeah, you got two.
I think there. Yeah, there's. I was gonna say. I think there was two last time Ross kept count, and he's just confirmed.
Okay, so you can actually re-roll any dice from the charm check, considering it's probably the last roll of the night, as we're at 10:30. You have 3 yellow with 1 going upgrading, making it 4. You have 2 green to go with it. You have 2 blue to go with it. And we don't have anything there that actually upgrades it further. Checking your other skills.
I've just had a brilliant idea which you guys should ask me about later.
You could burn some strain to reduce the downgrade set.
Which one's that one?
The congenial.
She can technically spend 2 strain to downgrade things. Would you like to spend 2 strain to downgrade the check?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not with that smile.
While Martin's doing that role, I'd like to replay a little bit of history for you guys where Miss Teehee went into a publishing house.
She downgraded them
Well,
away.
Shadow made herself invisible after making a magical copy of a certain book, put the magical copy of a certain book into a certain case, and walked out with the real book with nobody ever seeing or knowing that they were there.
Okay, so Talon ended up with 6 successes and 9 advantages. So yes, the guys and probably the rest of the people in attendance are more than happy to vouch for the entire team.
So we all get to go.
Well, with the amount of successes and advantages you got, they're more than happy to find a way to get everyone up there.
Okay,
and that works out even better, because if we were to use the same technique as we did in the publishing house to steal the other book that we stole, I could make myself invisible much more easier in a group of us, and I just have to see the book, I think, to be able to make a mask of it, and then replace it out.
Case, that's the for the book.
The case that you're swapping it with?
Well, no, because the book is so fragile. I thought that
it's
case
kept in a glass case, yes.
That doesn't mean we're necessarily taking the whole case with us.
No. I thought we also had a case that had something in there.
You have to put something in its place.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
big enough. It's right size
we put that whole case in on.
The case.
We're not opening the case that we've bought.
You've got a medical grade case.
Okay.
That you're supposed to put in its place.
Okay.
It's
behind.
So in theory, could I disguise using mask that medical case to look like a book for a certain length of time? Like
you can, or you could even just put it in your backpack.
This book's supposed to be fragile. How the hell are we going to bring it back?
That is going to be a challenge for next session.
Because I actually thought that we were supposed to put whatever's in the case there, and we'll put the book back into the case, because the case is supposed to protect it.
No. Grandmother, the assumption that I'm going to be looking at a medical grade case is the case actually contains the ears we got from
contains
the ADN.
Yeah, I know it contains the ears, because it's from our previous thing.
That's right. So it's not like it's designed to carry a book.
This sounds like a messed up treasure hunt where
It is.
we collect things from one section and then just leave them while we take another.
I got it.
Yeah.
It sounds. Well, it's all Harliquin's fault.
Okay,
Actually, it's all
so-
Desmond's fault for knowing Harliquin.
So we'll end the session with that they will get you a tour with the Baron on the Monday, and you got the guarantee on the Saturday. So there'll be another 2-day wait until you get there. So you'll have been in town from the 19th to the 23rd by the time you actually get inside the keep.
That sounds reasonable.
And obviously the intent will be that we will, we're still planning on potentially doing the sign up, but if we get the opportunity to run it while we're in there on the tour, then that could be the plan too, but we can work that out in the session.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add before we go to end credits?
I'm just glad I remembered that we did that mission, but that was mostly because Talon is triggered my memory with her charming abilities.
Okay.
I just love the name T.E.
Yeah.
And there's an actual NPC named that in the storyline.
Well, when you came online, Ross also went tee, and because he said tee, that also kind of they all snowballed into each other. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we do something like this before?
You did. And so going into end credits, and then we will chat afterwards.